So now, why do we have to learn about business model and business process documentation? Okay, so first of all, it is actually required by accounting standards. So if you learned about financial accounting, I think you must have heard about this Sarbanes-Oxley Act in 2002, right? So this act was initiated after the Enron scandal. So as part of this act, the SEC requires the public companies to do a better and more detailed documentation of their business process. Why? This is because the managers, they are required to look at this business process documentation and make an assessment of whether this process has good internal control, especially the processes that are related to financial reporting procedure. So this is by regulation, firms, they have to do a good documentation of the business process. And not only for managers, auditors, external auditors, they also need to make an independent assessment of the manager's own assessment. So I'll give you an example. Let's say I am Starbucks, okay? I'm the manager, and I look at the business process documentation, and I say that based on our evaluation, the business process as well as the internal control over the processes related to financial reporting is effective. And then we need an external auditor, for example, KPMG, to come in and validate my assertion, right? So for example, KPMG can say, we looked at the business documentation and we look at the manager's assessment and we agree with the management that yes, the process is effective. So regarding the manager's role in looking at this business process, it is under the SOX 302 section. If you are interested, you can look it up. And for the external auditor's role, it is covered under SOX 404 section. So when you get into your public accounting career, I think these are, you are going to get in touch with a lot of these concepts. Okay, so that is to say, by the requirement of the standards, we need to, like businesses, they need to have good documentation of the business. So besides the requirement from the standards, what other benefits can we get from business process documentation? So as I said, if we have a common way to represent a business process and we document it, actually this is a way to maintain your knowledge, right? So then you can use that documentation as a way to train new employees. So if you think about your internship experience, right, you go to a Big Four or like accounting firm, and then you ask your senior, okay, what should I do in this reconciliation task or this invoice processing task, right? So usually your senior will give you some maybe like written documents on how to do those things, or they may just tell you what to do, right? But if they have a very detailed documentation on how to do certain things, it's you can this kind of documentation can serve as employee training. And besides that, if we speak the same language in terms of how a business process looks like, this way of communication can also like benefit within enterprise communication and cross-enterprise communication, right? Because then we have a common language.